Welcome back to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. This is our third segment of the week, and boy, I'll tell you what, this is open discussion, and boy, there's a lot to talk about. But we're going to pick a couple of topics, Steve. We're going to talk about.
Oh yeah, what's your name?
Aurelio Martinez, Steven Johnson.
Thank you. He's ready. He's ready.
I'm ready because we can't waste any time.
Okay.
Seconds are precious in this segment. We're going to talk a little bit about Clen and Buterol, Mr. Buterol, and your boy Canelo. Okay, and the protection and all this stuff gets in. And we're going to talk about that for a little bit. And then we're going to talk about this whole big fiasco on bullying has become a really big problem in the United States. We're all over the place, So we're going to talk about the bullies here, the big bully in amateur boxing, USA Boxing, okay, and what transpired. But let's get on to Canelo. Now let me ask you something, okay? Fact. He came up dirty.
Fact.
That's a fact. That's not hearsay. That's not any of this. You can say it came from meat. His excuse was it came from contaminated meat. I am one to say that was just an excuse that they've had laying back in the background for years for an in case. Mm-hmm. It was a trump card that they're going to bring out in the event they ever need it, while they needed it. Okay, contaminated beef has been used as an excuse not only for boxers but for athletes in many different sports, football, soccer, baseball, everything. And it's been a proven fact as well that beef, especially from Mexico, is contaminated. I shouldn't say contaminated because they use it to beef up the cow. It's not a steroid, but they use it to beef up the cow to make them heavier and of course sell the meat and profits. Okay, so to me, my opinion, that was the trump card that they had in case they ever get dirty. Now they showed up dirty. They showed up dirty, and because of this big fight coming up May 5th between him, the rematch between him and Triple G, they kind of swept it under the rug. So basically, even WBC came out and siding with the Canelo. But let me ask you, let's talk about this, because even if we have to extend this, we got some real good topics. Tell me your take on that. Is it right? What's going on here?
Well, my take, real cut and dry. Canelo admitted it. Okay, after he was tested dirty, he admitted it. Comes up with excuses. But my thing is that it has gotten ugly because Triple G did exactly what I would have done. He not only said that Canelo has been doing this so long, I now call him a cheat. Not a quote. He said he's a cheater. And he said an Oscar is contributing to being a cheater. Okay? So that means it's gotten ugly. Now this thing will be personal at the fight. And I'm thinking that now the fight, if whatever you thought about it before, because most of us were thinking it's going to be more of the same.
Yeah.
I think now it's going to be flat out war. I think because now it's gotten real personal. It's going to make for a great fight. Well, the rest of it is irrefutable. There's no question that he got caught. And for those of us who have followed all the things about in all sports, it's about a cycle. And evidently they miscalculated on their cycle, and he got caught. And you got pictures to show, as we do with everybody that's on something. The pictures don't lie.
They don't lie.
Okay.
And it's a fact that he got caught. Okay?
Yeah.
We're going to keep talking about this, and then we're going to do a special segment on the USA Boxing. Okay. Because obviously we won't do it any justice by trying to crunch it into a couple of minutes or something. Okay?
Right.
But let's talk about this. Let me tell you something. What really is irritating is how the powers to be in boxing, the commissions, the sanctioning organizations, really have no shame, and they have the freedom of waving this way or that way, according to whatever's better financially to their organization or to them. Okay, and that's exactly what we're seeing here, because a few years back, well, more than a few years back, if you remember, Eric Morales came up dirty with the same thing, Clenbuterol.
Yes.
Okay, same thing. He got a 2-year suspension. Now, Eric Morales was one of them, you guys that remember him, he had them wars with Antonio Barrera.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was a high-profile boxer, and they suspended him for 2 years for this. Now you get the same scenario. Canelo shows up dirty, and they're actually debating whether they should suspend him or not. You got caught. Okay, regardless of the excuse of meat or whatever it is, you showed up dirty. It's against the rules. It's a violation. Action has to be taken.
Yep.
Now, action has to be similar to what you've done in the past. You can't waffle. Okay, you gave Eric Morales 2 years. So honestly, the rightful thing to do is stay within your discipline action area, and he should get 2 years.
Bruh, there's too much money involved in this fight. There's no way he'll be suspended. Or they might adopt a philosophy like the NBA has done during their playoffs. And this is you. Let me tell you.
Okay.
NBA, if you and I are in the NBA and we're playing, and I throw a punch at you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's automatic ejection.
Yes.
And you can't play in the next game.
Yeah.
Guess what the NBA has done? They said, well, we can't really affect the series. We'll start that next season. You're disciplined. Football, they've done that in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll start next season.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So they might say, well, after this fight, he'll be suspended.
Well,
I wouldn't be shocked by anything, because when Mauricio Suleiman came out and he says, hey, we got to be fair. Shut up. And then you come up with the WBC saying, Ring Magazine, which is owned by Oscar De La Hoya, comes out saying, he's been tested again and again and again, and he's clean. Canelo says, I'm coming to the United States to train from now on. In other words, saying, I'm getting away from that tainted Mexican beef. Give me a break, dude. Everybody knows that you're dirty. And as far as Triple G, he's gone a step further, called you a cheat, said you've been a cheat for a long time. Woo! Man, I can't wait for this fight now.
Triple G is a member of the VADA, VADA testing. He's actually enlisted in that. So he's happy and he's clean.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Or at least they understand the cycle. That's what.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Clenbuterol is leaves your body, so it's not detected relatively quick. A couple of weeks, 10 to 12 days, and it's not detectable. Okay, if you use it moderately. Okay, if you use it as enhancement moderately, all your athletes know this, so that they're able to use it before the testing becomes mandatory and stuff. So you can kind of pave the way where you can take Clenbuterol in your training and stuff, and then when you get 2-3 weeks out that you're going to be tested and stuff, well then you stop and it doesn't show up. Everybody, any professional athlete at a top level knows this. So it's a way to be able to use that and enhance your training. And that's exactly what he was doing. But to tell you, he got caught and he knew the cycle. He knew the range, okay? Obviously he had to. He had to have known the cycle, okay? Because obviously this isn't your first rodeo,
right?
Okay?
Right.
You had to know the cycle. So what that tells me, he wasn't taking it moderately. He was abusing it. Okay, for it to stay in his system beyond the cycle of detection means he was doubling up or tripling up on the thing. Okay, because it lingered in his system longer than they anticipated, and he got caught. Okay,
and there's no question. Okay. Like you say, and you know more about the cycle thing than I do, but I'll tell you this: there's no question that when you get caught, these guys can come back and take a test. Everybody takes a test a week later and they're clean. It's because there's no secret. There's no secrets in any sports about the results of the test. Okay, so in other words, like the results of the test, we hear about it today, which is a Sunday. They got the results from the test from like last Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? So they've already get a head start 1 week. The next week when they say, hey, we'll test again, they already know that it's clear the system.
And real quick, let's talk about this suspension business. You hit it on the nose when you said, they're going to meet and they might say, okay, when you said we'll go ahead and apply the suspension after May 5th because we don't want to disrupt that fight.
Yeah.
Okay, but the problem is that's the fight he's been taking the illegal substance to prepare for. So so suspending him after that, and by them issuing, and I say them, the commissions and all, issuing a temporary suspension, okay? Because Canelo's been temporarily suspended
right now. He's
okay,
temporarily suspended.
What the hell's a temporary suspension? Okay, did he or did he not show up dirty? Okay, so now
Your driver's license.
So now they're going to have a hearing to see if they can
make it permanent,
make his adjustment, his excuses. Okay, to give him a pass. Okay, bottom line is, how do you give someone a pass when the tests don't lie? Okay, it's irrelevant how it got in your system.
Mm-hmm.
It's there.
And it's a dog and pony show.
Okay.
That's all that is.
It's
We
there.
already know what the result's going to be. They're going to clear him some kind of way, and the fight will go on.
Yeah. So like I'm saying, it's a shame what this company tests dirty. We know it's a big fight. It's a big fight. But when someone does something illegal and breaks the rules,
Gotta be
they
dealt
get
with.
suspended. And unfortunately, this fight should be
Rescheduled or something.
Well, it should be canceled.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be under suspension. You got to suspend him, and this fight cannot go on as planned for May 5th. So they probably need to reschedule it for next year or in September or something else. But you need to stay respectable as an organization with your rules. And when something's illegal and legal, you have to. You can't start making exceptions. Because you know what? If they make an exception now, Eric Morales needs to go find him an attorney, because they took 2 years of his boxing life away where he could have been making the millions and millions of dollars. So he has to find an attorney, come back and sue these organizations for lost wages, which can amount to $5-10 million with the Barrera contest. And you don't forget, you had Ahmed, the Prince, all in this mix. You had some good fights during them times. Okay, you had Pacquiao in there. I mean, it opens the door where he can come back and open up a big lawsuit.
Well, speaking of opening the door, we're going to have what we haven't had forever. We're going to have a fourth segment here. We're going to talk about one of the big topics that transpired in the last few days involving USA boxing. So I'm going to give you a chance again. Refresh your cup of coffee, get some water, because we come back.
You want to come?
We're going to have some.
You want to hear this out?
Yes, sir.
The bullies, the monopoly company organization that has all the backing of the USOC, AIBA, and everyone else, flexing their muscles once again.
All right. Hey, in the meantime,